I've pressed record.
Oh. Morning.
Good morning. We've moved rooms again because it's just too fucking cold outside. So
God, that's aggressively loud.
is it too loud?
Only because I've turned my headphones up. So
We'll change the whole thing. Headsets, the fucking lot. Are you all good now?
La 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 la.
Are you alright?
Yeah. For some reason, you're just really loud in my my ears,
And
I seem quiet. Do I seem normal to you?
yeah, you seem normal to me.
That's
I think
right.
I seem quite loud, but I talk louder into the mic.
Okay.
So there's nothing I can do for that.
It's your big booming voice.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 26. You'll recognise Steph's voice again. It's because Ash is still on nights. So again, Steph has graciously stepped in to
Me again.
to did such an amazing job last week.
Oh.
We're surrounded by animals. We've moved the podcast into our. Is it? I suppose it's our bedroom, isn't it? Your bedroom, our bedroom.
You slept in here for about
I'm
a
in
year,
here
and you
too.
literally live here. So
Yes.
I think we can call it that.
We're surrounded by animals and all sorts of comforts. It's quite nice, to be fair. Not that we could keep it like this because Ash isn't gonna.
He'd be too embarrassed.
It'd be so fucking weird if he's sitting there. You're just doing whatever you're doing. We also might get interrupted by the postie. Because Steph has to give some letters over. Are they letters, parcels?
They are. They're orders, but they fit in
They're
letters.
orders.
So Royal Mail Strikes have fucked.
You can swear on this podcast. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I
You
know,
can say fucked.
There was a lot of emotion in that. Fuck.
We made a mistake with the Patreon. Thanks to everyone who gave us their hard-earned dough. Thanks to everyone who also signed up to the new tier as well. I know it's a bit of a ball ache for people that are already paying the £5 and up. You have to go in and manually change it. But it's very appreciated for everyone involved in the podcast. But I didn't realise that when you search for what's the buttons on Patreon, it wasn't showing up. And that's because we had what is essentially a mature filter on, an 18 plus filter.
Naughty
Because
filter.
Patreon thought that we were putting nudes up on our group.
Are you telling me you're not going to be putting nudes up?
Well,
I'm gonna unsubscribe.
we
That's
promised
the
a
only
lot of
reason I'm
people
here.
feet pictures. I suppose that counts as nudity,
You
maybe.
never give those for free.
But for some reason, Patreon thought that that's what we were doing. So when you actually search for us on Patreon, we don't come up. You have to manually go through Google rather than through Patreon. So think of all the dough that I could have been missing out on. You know what I mean?
That's rough.
So I've requested it be changed because we aren't 18 plus content. We're explicit, but we're not. We ain't putting up dick pics and all that type of stuff. So hopefully that will.
A great shame.
You know what I mean? Hopefully that'll make a little change. We're also with the new tier. It's called the Jedi Club. I did that in honour of Ash, and it will be me and Steph that will be putting up an additional episode, 30 odd minutes, maybe a bit more. Fuck knows what we're going to talk about, but we're going to do it anyway.
Master wafflers, to be
Yeah.
fair.
I mean, fuck me, we managed to get an hour and a half out of Game of the Year last week, and we spent about 5 minutes actually talking about Game of the Year.
Probably.
It went well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Well, we managed 4.5 years of constant conversation.
Just bullshit. Yeah. We haven't got a list.
That's okay. We're free,
There's no
we're free
list on
spirits.
anything to talk about. So I suppose I can go off with High on Life. Been playing a bit of that. Haven't actually. So it's a 12-hour campaign. It's on Xbox Game Pass, so it's cost me zilch, fuck all.
Nice.
And I've only sunk in about an hour's worth of gameplay because World of Warcraft has taken up all my time, and I've been on a course for the last week, so I've been getting home quite late. So gaming-wise, it's been a bit difficult to sink the hours in, but in the hour that I have played, so fucking funny. It's so funny. It's exactly how you think of games, and like it calls itself out. So it's
I clocked that.
yeah.
I looked over, didn't I?
It's voiced by the geezer who does Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
I can't remember his fucking name. I'll do a quick search.
That guy.
But it's, like I say, a short campaign. It has really, really good reviews. There's a knife that has a fetish on stabbing people. It's just great, man. It's just funny. It's real. It takes the piss out of itself. It's a great laugh. I'm really excited to finish it and to put more time into it, which I'll probably do when we're done with this podcast.
Don't lie to the people.
I probably will.
Don't
I
lie
won't
to my
finish it, but
face.
I'll sink some more hours
No, well,
into
I'll
it.
tell you what's going to happen.
Go on.
We're going to finish this pod. We're going to do the extra bit.
Yeah.
We'll feed the dog.
Yeah.
I'll make the burgers.
Yeah.
Then you're going to go, wow.
Actually, to be fair,
No, we're going to book that Airbnb, and then you're going to go, wow.
to be fair, shout out to Mark Manister on a previous podcast when our beloved Ash was on this podcast.
Before I was here.
God rest his soul. I said that out of the three of us, i.e. me, him and Mark, it will be Mark that platinums God of War.
Yeah.
Ash is going to get the platty anyway,
Yeah.
but obviously Ash doesn't have nearly as much time as any of us do when it comes to gaming.
And yet, some impressive stats.
Yeah. Some really impressive stats with his Sony wrapped up. Mark's was 77 hours for the entire year. It's pathetic. But
Oh, bless him.
he's been out of the gaming world, and he said God of War's grabbed him and fucking dragged him back in. I think 55 of his hours were God of War out of the 77, so it's like,
Nice.
fuck, you know. But he has platinumed God of War, and not only has he
Mark?
has he
Wow.
platinumed it, he has 100%ed it. There is nothing left for him to do.
Oh my God, so he
Absolutely
did the
nothing.
12 degrees.
He's done them all. He's
Oh.
done them all. He's killed the king. He's killed the queen. He's
Gunnar, or whatever her name is.
Gunnar,
Gina.
Gina, whatever her fucking name
Good old
is.
Gina.
He's also completed Stray, and he completed Stray
Oh.
because he got so pissed off trying to kill the king on God of War that he thought, I need to come off and I
Wind down.
need to do something else. He was like, otherwise I wouldn't have played Stray yet. But yeah, he's got the platinum. There's some hidden secrets in there that he was like, I don't want to spoil it for you, and I won't spoil it for anyone on this podcast, but I'll tell you after.
Ooh.
But he was like, I don't want to spoil it for you. I was like, fuck it, go for it, spoil it for me, because it'll be a while before I
Yeah.
get the platinum on it, if I even get the platinum on it. But yeah, it's made me flick the PlayStation back on to do all the updates and everything, and I am. Is that the postie? Who's that?
No, that's a Peugeot. I don't know who that is. One moment. It's going to be
Oh.
Every or someone.
Every?
Have you ordered something? You watch it be for you or
I
me?
haven't ordered anything.
Oh, I ordered some paper. Right, one moment.
Well, you go and do that, and
BRB
I'll
and-
carry on talking about.
Who the fuck? Okay. I'm scared.
Would you want me to go? Oh, hold on.
Be brave.
Let
you
me
can do
pause it. That was a waste of time, wasn't it?
I'm out of breath now. absolute cheek.
That was an absolute waste of time. But we're
No, I feel like we need to explain so that people don't think I'm nutter.
go on then. You've been running to the door.
Before we bought this house, it was empty for a long time,
Yep.
and I think that we live behind a Chinese, which sounds like
And a
it's
petrol
a bit
station.
strange, but
The Chinese is banging.
it is really good. Sorry, I'm
Chinese
out of breath,
takeaway, not just like Chinese people.
hang on. Oh God, yeah, no,
It's
no,
just Chinese takeaway.
no, a Chinese takeaway.
We live behind the Chinese.
That makes me sound awful. No.
Chinese takeaway and a petrol station. It's
so
handy.
The only thing I can think, because it used to happen a hell of a lot more when we first moved
You
in.
really ran, didn't you?
I really did, and I shouted. I did shout because I'm waiting for Royal Mail. It's been a very stressful couple of weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and someone's just pulled in really slowly, pulled right in, looked like they were going to do something, and then by the time I get down to the door, Reese looks. Oh, they're pulling back out because they just wanted a big, nice, flat turning circle to go and park up to get their Chinese.
Yeah.
So I did open the door and I did shout, "We're not a car park."
Yeah.
There's no way they heard me, but I've half a mind to go out there, walk
Oh,
out,
it's
and just
just
look me in the
annoying.
eyes.
There's
Then
a-
say I'm dressed like an
There's a section of tarmac that is just outside the driveway, and it
It's
is so
ruined.
fucked because we have a garage like a car garage that's next to us as well. So you got a car garage, petrol garage, a fucking Chinese takeaway, and us. And it's like everyone that owns these places owns this little plot of like tarmac,
We all have right of
access. And so because
But
of
I don't
that,
think
no
anybody
one
owns
wants
it.
to pay to retarmac, like resurface it. So
Well-
it's fucked. It's like the surface of Mars.
Yeah, and when we had the concrete laid outside, they put the spare concrete in the holes, and that lasted all of about what?
Oh, it's fucking useless,
an
wasn't it?
hour?
Because
Yeah, 'cause it just get
you know
ruined.
they done that extra bit the other week. They
Yep.
put some tarmac in the holes. I
Yeah.
don't know why they bother doing
They
it.
always do it, but obviously because the rest of it is essentially rock hard, like compacted mud,
Oh,
because
yeah,
we're
it's
in a
just
very
fucking
clayey area.
useless.
And people, but it's just it just really bothers me.
I've just spilt tea
That is-
all over me.
Brilliant.
Not on
You're
your
wearing
floor,
black,
don't
it's
worry.
fine, it's grand.
And I'm wearing the old T-shirt.
I exploded a tomato up myself the other day. I know. It went everywhere. And I know I was gently trying to cut them with a spoon, and it literally went bang all over.
That pause will sound so weird. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? So yeah, it happens quite often where people just pull in because they don't want to turn around. When I leave in the van and I forget about them potholes, I feel like I'm going to take off. I go fucking flying.
Yeah.
But it's just annoying because we always think it's a parcel.
It just
and it's not.
It activates a part of me.
The anger is like, get out of my fucking house. That's
Yeah.
why it sounds so snobby, but it's
no.
why we want to put a gate up.
Absolutely.
Because it happens so often. And it really does sound snobby. I really don't mean it in a snobby way, but it happens all the fucking time.
And we were waiting for Ash to come, and he was on his way, and he was literally going to be there any minute. And where was I going? I think I was walking the dog.
Yeah.
And a fella had parked, completely blocked our driveway.
Yeah.
And I goes to it. So he sat there just chilling. And I walked up. I was like, okay, I'm going to be brave. And I just went, oh, hello. I said, sorry, you're blocking our driveway.
Mm.
And he didn't straight away go, oh God, sorry, like I'll move. He went, what, is someone coming out then?
Yeah.
And stupidly.
I don't fucking care if someone's coming out.
I went, no, but someone's about to come in. He went,
Yeah.
oh, all right, love. Shunted forward like.
Yeah. All right, love. Let me get out of the way of your house. Get out of the fucking way. Stop
And
parking in front of my fucking driveway.
Yeah. And I if I was braver, I would have gone, well, it's also our driveway. But I didn't. I just went.
I get it all the time. When I pull in and it's busy, I pull in the van and people look at me like I'm a piece of shit because they're in my way.
Yep.
I go, who the fuck are you looking at, you prick?
No
Get out of the way of my fucking house.
Yeah, no one has beat and swore as much as I did when I used to come home from work
Oh,
on a Saturday
fuck 'em,
afternoon.
man. They're so annoying.
It's like prime time. I'd be pulling in at about 6:30, wouldn't it? Like 6:30, and they're just waiting there and they just stare you out. And then I beep and then I go, it's my house.
You remember years
I
ago
need to go over there.
when we come in and we were completely blocked in by people in the Chinese?
Yeah.
Or they'd all parked up and I had to go in there and go,
Yeah,
get your fucking car out of the way.
Yeah.
And they got all snooty about it because they had parked right in the way.
Yeah.
So what? You dickheads.
Oh, mate, honestly.
Sick of it.
There's lots of lovely things about living here, but oh my God, literally, it just, again.
It's also filled with fucking... No. Can't be asked to get into it. I can't remember. I'll be here forever.
This has become a therapy podcast.
Well, yeah, it'll have to be a different fucking title on this one. Where was I? I was talking about Mark. Mark getting the platinum.
Yep, and he also 100%ed it.
Yeah, and so it
Before
spurred...
we were rudely interrupted.
Yeah, it spurred me on to... Because Mark is adamant that Gina, the queen of the Valkyries, I'm going to struggle to defeat her. You're looking for the dog?
I'm looking for Hobson.
Hobson didn't run out.
I know, but it makes me panic. Yeah, go on.
What you want to go and look for Hobson?
You keep talking. I'll be back.
Okay. Well, I suppose I'm not talking to you, Emma. I'm talking to the listeners.
Yeah.
So
I can still hear you.
So Mark said to me that I'm going to really struggle to kill Gina, and that I might not even be able to do it. So just get your mic out of the way of the fan. He's there. Is he? What? There's a fucking shambles, this show. This is mental. I can't believe people pay for this. So he said I was going to fucking struggle, right? Now, I will let everyone into a little secret here. Even though he's platinumed it and got 100%, he turned the difficulty to the lowest setting to do it.
Right.
Because he was getting so angry.
Right.
Right. Now, he says, it doesn't make that much of a difference because it just means that when they hit you, it hurts a little bit less. And I did agree with him, but fuck him, yeah? Because, fuck him. Fuck you, Mark, yeah? It don't make you tough. You fucked it for yourself. Now, I said to him, I ain't going to do that. I'm playing it on normal. I couldn't be asked for hard mode. And I'm going to stay with normal. Now, he's made the mistake of saying that I won't be able to do it because Ash did exactly the same thing with Elden Ring and Melania.
Yep.
And he said, you won't be able to do that, even though Ash hadn't actually touched her yet. He's like, you won't be able to do it. So I said, I bet him that I'd get it done in under an hour. And there's video evidence of me getting it done in under an hour. Now, he'd sit there and say I cheated because I used a mimic tier.
Well, so if it's available to you, I suppose.
The video clip is there. Me screaming is there. So now, I turned the PlayStation on. I did the updates. So at some point, I'm going to go and I'm going to smack her up. And I will do it in less than an hour. I might even do it in one go.
It's been said here.
It's been said here.
That is.
And there'll be a video clip of it because I'll clip it and then I'll bang it up on the Instagram so everyone can see it in all its glory, me doing it in under an hour. But yeah, I'm I'm happy that he's platinumed it. I think that's very cool. I'm also happy that it's thrown him back into gaming. I didn't realise, completely forgot, he hasn't played Dying Light 2 yet.
No.
Flabbergasted, because me and him fucking ripped Dying Light for ages. We loved it so much, just smashing zombies round the face with fucking baseball bats.
Oh my god, is that the one where you saved the guy and then he
He was like, "Thank you for saving me," and then it gets taken out mid cutscene by a zombie. That was hilarious. I've clipped that as well.
Was that supposed to happen?
No.
Oh.
No. It was literally a random encounter. He's like, help me, save me. I give him some medicine, and he gets up and he's like, thank you so much for saving me. And then, a zombie just come and took him out straight away. I was in hysterics.
That's so funny.
Absolute pieces. He hasn't actually played that yet. So I think that's next on the list. And then we've got The Devil in Me as well, which is that co-op. The last of the Dark Anthology series.
Oh yeah.
That co-op horrors that we always play together.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Again, there's glitches there, weren't there, with the guy?
Oh, with his face. His face, where he looked like he was taking a shit mid-cutscene. And you got Mark on the mic. He's like, what the fuck's this geezer's face doing? I've forgotten about that.
Oh, please post that. You should honestly post some of these things. You really should.
There were so many clips on my PS4, and when I swapped over to the PS5, obviously the clips don't come with you. So I've got a memory stick somewhere. We see it the other day when we was moving shit around. There's a memory stick somewhere with all of my PS4 clips on it, and it's like 100 clips. It's loads. And then I've obviously got a load built up on my PlayStation, on my PS5 as well. So I should really put quite a few more on the Instagram, because some of them are fucking funny. Like the days, like the H1Z one, where Mark like,
yes,
fucking suck it.
Oh.
Out of frame, just gets gunned down with a shotty with the ragdoll effect. It's like, no. Oh fucking hell!
So funny. Oh god.
How many hours I spent on that game? Fucking hell.
But I don't even think. I mean, I know last time. I think didn't we try for the crack because you were finding PUBG too long?
Oh
like,
yeah.
For a half hour, and you think, nah, I can't be arsed.
No, it was like 45 minutes a game.
Yeah.
To just not win.
Exactly.
It's
and then,
so much time to invest.
And do you remember we went on it and it was just dead. Couldn't even get in because it was just so low.
H1Z1.
Count. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that's still the case.
It had a little bit of a resurgence, but it's a very niche
version.
battle royale. I think it's a great battle royale, but a lot of people don't like it. When you're used to something like Warzone or even Fortnite, Apex Legends, H1Z1's completely different ball game, completely different. Not complex by any means, but
there's almost like no real. It's more of like a real life vibe. There's not really
sort of,
elements of...
Yeah, well, you're looking at something that's based off of DayZ. Well, it is DayZ. It was originally a mod.
Yeah.
Or the other way around. Either way, they're the same game. So it is somewhat real. And I think something...
I mean, no, like extra element, you know what I mean? There's you can't build a fort, you can't...
Oh, yeah,
it
is literally just running around trying to find some guns.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got the graphics side of it. The graphics look fucking awful. You know what I mean? They don't look great. And I think that turns a lot of people off. It very nearly turned me and Mark off, but we persevered, and it was crazy fun because it's just such a basic battle royale.
Yeah.
There's nothing crazy going on, but it was very fucking addictive, and we got very good at it, man. Like we were decent.
Yeah.
Dare I say? You know, just top 0.01% of players in the world for season 1.
Really, you never mention it.
Yeah, but you would though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but you just never say.
Not 0.1, 0.01% out of millions of players. That's a big. Obviously, season 2 I dropped off, but I'm just saying I'll take that to the grave with me.
It's funny because I don't remember it that way. I think you have to dig out that email.
What do you mean?
You have to get your old phone out.
Huh?
I don't know. Just
what do you mean?
Just have to take your word for it, won't I? Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't need my old phone. It's on my email, and I believe my email is right here.
You delete a lot of emails, don't you?
Yeah, but what you think? I didn't archive this one. I archived this motherfucker.
Look, I'm here for the people. Langdon versus the people.
High on Life's only got a 67% on Metacritic.
See, this is the sort of thing I
I don't know how much attention I'm going to keep paying to Metacritic.
I mean, I don't think I've ever looked in my life, personally. But what I was going to say is, like, I'm not a Rick and Morty fan.
No.
Like that kind of humour. And obviously I've only watched you play it for a little bit, but I don't think it would necessarily be my cup of tea. But I'm glad that it's yours.
It's...
Do you know what I mean? I can see in terms of that rating.
It's just a first-person shooter, isn't it? It's nothing
I love
crazy.
how we were literally slagging those the other day. We were like, I fucking hate first person.
Yeah. But it's the dialogue of it. It's the dialogue and the funniness of it that makes it great. If you take away the voice acting and that dialogue,
well, where did I see
then it's shit.
Someone was playing it on mute. Did you tell me that, or did I find that out?
Who's playing it on mute?
Yeah, someone was like, yeah. Someone was really, yeah. I think it must have been on.
Don't say they was upset with the language.
No, they just didn't find it like funny. They found it quite annoying, so they just muted it, and now they're enjoying it. I must have seen it on Facebook.
Fucking hell, you're playing the wrong game then. That was literally its selling point. The whole but there is a setting where you can, because obviously all the guns and weapons you get, they are alive. They talk to you.
Yeah.
And there is a setting where you can turn that down so you can have it where it'll be like frequent, like
they won't speak as much.
Yeah. So you can turn it down, but to play a game
why
that
bother?
And to find it annoying, that's the whole point of the game. That's what makes this game so fucking good. Is the bullshit dialogue that comes with it. Very much like Borderlands, where it was known for that really like weird. People screaming.
Well, it's
at you
almost
type
like
shit.
playing Assassin's Creed and being like, I don't approve of assassins. I don't like it. 0 out of 10.
I want to turn off the assassins.
What were you expecting?
This hidden blade, I don't like it. I want to use something else.
I don't believe in killing people.
I'm going to complete this by not hitting anyone. Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find out what the Metacritic is for The Witcher 3, because Ash got it has very good reviews for the next gen update.
Oh, okay.
It looks very good. They like basically remade it. And Ash was annoyed with me because he sent me through the Metacritic score. God, it's really difficult to find. He sent me through the Metacritic score when it first came out.
Right.
Or like obviously the PS5 version. And when he sent it to me, it had 3 reviews.
Right.
And it was like 98% or 99 score.
Well, yeah.
Something like that. It was a high score.
Well, yeah, it was probably
and he was like,
Dev's mum, their dad, and their brother.
Amazing. I don't want to speak ill of it, of what happened, because I know that he'll listen to this. There we go.
Why? What happened?
It was a 97 Metacritic score.
Okay.
A 97 Metascore. From 10 reviews.
Right. Oh, okay.
Now he sent me that, and he was like gobsmacked face, because obviously 97, that's high for Metacritic. Like that's really fucking good.
Yeah.
And I just said to him, wait for more than 10 reviews.
Yeah.
Because that's not a big sample.
It's
10
like
reviews.
No, yeah, they do it with makeup and stuff. They're like 98% of women agree of the 7 people we asked with a gun to their heads and gave them £1 million to say yes.
7 out of these 10 dentists recommend this toothpaste.
When threatened to lose their practice.
Yeah, when overly paid. So he said, I said, wait for more than 10 reviews. And he said, could be the perfect game and you'd still shit on it, uncultured swine. And I just said to him, it's 10 reviews.
Yeah.
That's not a big enough sampling. It is good. I haven't seen that much, but I know that it's good.
At least 10 people like it.
And I'm not saying that it and I'm not saying that it isn't good. Well, because he then sent me the Dragonflight Metacritic score. And obviously, it's only at the time it had only had 3 reviews, and it had a 4.6 user score, which is very low.
Oh.
But I just said, different game, different politics. And it is.
World
World of Warcraft's one of those things where you never look at the fucking reviews, because even the people that are slating it will play it forever.
Yeah.
It's an addiction. So fuck that. But the Metacritic...
Like a true addict.
So, yeah. So, The Witcher 3 at the moment has 23 reviews.
That's so... What is this?
Only a 7.1 user score, though. That's not great.
Yeah, but what is this? Hardly fair. How many fucking copies must be sold, and then you get like 20 people review it? It's not.
I don't know.
Much
Metacritic reviews. There's not really that many that
like,
go on Metacritic. I don't really know if it's a case of anyone can do a
But
review.
even then, you'd still expect there to be more than that. Maybe it's a dying thing. Maybe no one does it anymore.
No, because a lot of people rely on.
Yeah, but you say that. But you know, how I was saying the other day how, and maybe it's showing my age, but there was a gig, and
You are old.
about 8 months. But there you go. Whatever.
You're
We were literally both in the womb at the same time. So
Yeah, you just come out of yours 8 months sooner than me.
Huh.
Old.
anyway,
You'll be 30 long before I am. You know what I mean?
no, it'll be 8 months before you.
Yeah,
you are.
that's a long time.
Well, in 2 months we'll be the same age, won't we? On a bit of paper.
My birthday.
Yeah, won't be getting much.
Carry on.
Anyway, you're getting a block of coal. So-
Good, I can heat that up.
Yeah, and so I would always there was sort of thing, and it was like a band played a rare song at a gig, like one of their really old ones,
Mm.
and immediately I went to YouTube, and there was nothing, and you think, nah, not a band that big and a song that old,
Yeah.
like, and it just wasn't there. Because that was always where they'd be, wouldn't it? And, you know, someone kicks someone off the
You- yeah,
stage,
you bang
someone
on YouTube.
farts, someone does
Yeah.
whatever. It'd be on YouTube. And no, typed into TikTok, there's hundreds.
Well, yeah, because that's where
But-
it's at.
Exactly. But that's the first time that's been the case for anything I have looked at. So can
Ooh.
you see what I mean about
How
how...
cool does that loop in?
What?
About Metacritic? No, the whole review thing. So,
No one's really using it anymore. That's the point
Is-
I was
yeah,
making.
yeah, yeah,
That's the
yeah.
point I was making.
do you think that?
So,
No, this
how
is going.
cool does that look?
Do you think that Elden Ring,
Mm.
incredible game?
Yes.
I thought it was really fucking good. Deserved game of the year. Do you
Oh.
think it would have held as much traction if TikTok wasn't flooded with clips of people doing cool shit with Middle of the Night by
yeah.
Ella Dooley? Is it Ella
Can't remember. her name.
Dully or something?
But
something
yes,
like that?
absolutely hand in hand.
Because that,
Made the
I
song
mean,
famous, made the game
yeah,
famous.
set off her career.
For sure.
and
She
then,
don't need to, you know.
and then, because my TikTok for at least a month,
Long
and
time.
still now,
Yeah, I can remember overhearing it
was
for ages.
flooded
And
with
then you-
because visually the game looks fantastic. So it was the perfect. I can still remember it with the Star Scourge greatswords, which is obviously what I use, which you got from Radahn, and the ultimate for that is you would pull them both out and like scrape them together and then into the air, and then you get like this big fucking area of effect around you, and then you'd slam those motherfuckers into the ground. But it went really, really well with that. It's the watch, innit? You like this watch, don't you? Giving me looks across the fucking table, but it went really well with that song, and
Yeah.
pretty much any fucking edit that you threw into it went well with
Yeah.
that song. So everyone was like, if you hadn't heard of Elden Ring, you'd definitely fucking seen it.
And it made it look cool.
100%.
It was a better
looked sick.
advertisement for that game than anything they probably paid their PR team to do. And-
Yeah,
Yeah. And then just, you being someone who, I don't know how
Ellie
many...
Duhe. I don't know how to say her last name.
Duhay, maybe? I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think you're one of two types of people. You're either someone who watches a TikTok, in fact maybe three, watches a TikTok, doesn't bother with the comments, watches a TikTok, bothers with the comments, but pauses the TikTok to read the
I
comments.
don't know where this is going.
Or you're a third person, and you're someone who watches TikToks, reads the comments, but does not pause the TikTok when they read the comments.
No,
So,
that'd be annoying, wouldn't it?
and their algorithm kind of just lends itself to the most annoying and loud and
No, this is unfair.
kind of TikToks that just really like bore into your brain,
No,
and then they just go around 13
no, this
times
is
while
bullshit.
Reese sits there and goes,
no, this is bullshit.
no,
This
come
is
and
bollocks.
live here and you'll find
No,
out.
because your TikTok's boring as fuck anyway. And
It just tells me I've got like
that you're dying.
crippling issues, yeah.
Crippling anxiety.
And then
that-
it's just my dog died, my boyfriend died.
Yeah, didn't you go through a period where your whole TikTok was just like your significant other dying?
Yeah,
And every day
Yeah,
I
it
was
was
going and
really-
fucking around with trains.
yep. Well, do you remember when you started beaching Lee and I bumped into you in Sainsbury's and I literally looked like death because I'd just been crying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No, but
so you said I'm going to carry
no,
on
but
doing
you're
this job
also
because...
hyper reactive to sound.
Okay, yeah, but it's something
You
going...
really are. No, because I'm now conscious of it. Yeah, exactly. If there's a sound like that, I know that I've got about 4 seconds before I can feel you listening before you snap and go, "What is that? What the fuck is that?" Every time.
Yeah.
My TikTok's great. Don't worry about yours. My TikTok's great.
Yeah,
it's filled with little
voice.
gaming clips.
It's lovely.
Fantastic.
It's
lovely.
lovely.
But yeah, I think Elden Ring still was obviously at the height that it was. TikTok didn't put it any higher up than it already was, but I definitely believe that.
I don't know about that. It's certainly an exposure.
I think TikTok helped it to gain. I think TikTok allowed more people who hadn't ever touched a Soulsborne game to get involved with it, because there was loads of people that you just would not expect. I really want Mark to play it because, one, I know how angry he gets, and he will either break his PlayStation or he'll put his fist through the telly, and both of those things sound hilarious. And I also think that we were talking about it today. God of War, Ragnarok, was missing that satisfaction from killing a boss.
Oh, really?
It was very easy to kill bosses. Now, I know that you can tell me, you can go, we'll turn the hardness, like the difficulty up and all of that. But at the same time,
but then it was.
It really was. None of it was a challenge.
Oh.
The bosses weren't a challenge. I don't think they were. Not when. I think. Hear me out.
Okay.
I think because the game itself was so story driven, it was so imperative. So were the bosses. The bosses were key elements
weighted,
to the story, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's because I did every side mission I got before, like I did the main mission in a zone, so I was more over leveled than I should have been. I know Ash was saying that he was struggling, but I know for a fact that he was under leveled for what he was doing because he did none of the side stuff. But me and Mark both agreed that when we came to a boss, a proper boss, yes, it could be somewhat difficult, but you weren't sweating playing it.
But then I
compared
wonder...
to like Melania in Elden Ring, where you genuinely were fucking sweating because it's like I'm struggling here. Look at me and Ash with the Elden Lord. The Elden Beast, sorry.
Yeah.
Fucking, we struggled with that motherfucker. We struggled with that. That was difficult as fuck. And I think you didn't have that in God of War.
Do you think, though, is that a case of kind of sacrificing a little bit of that difficulty in the name of storytelling, in the sense that I remember you, and it was the first God of War, and probably the first time I think I watched you play it when you were trying to get back into it, and you were annoyed because you'd just come off of the back of something super like free roam open world kind of vibe, and you were like, it's too linear, it's stressing me out, like it's I want to walk over there but I can't because he's going, no, we must go this way.
Yeah.
And you being quite annoyed and having to sort of like get used to that, where
whereas I really like that now.
Exactly. But at that time you weren't used to
way.
it, and I think that there's a potential where, so say in a fight with Thorin, isn't it, when you think you've lost but actually it was meant to happen,
and he brings your fucking ass back to life.
Exactly.
Ooh,
and it's something that you, so even in that whole first segment of the fight, you think you've got free will, but no, because you're gonna, no matter how you act,
you're dying here,
you're going to get done in by him.
You're gonna get fucked up.
And then actually, I suppose, so knowing that, where you aren't actually necessarily in control because no matter what you do, it's going to happen in this way anyway. Would it being so difficult that you keep dying and having to go back and go back and go back and go back kind of ruin that vibe?
I suppose it would spoil it.
Potentially. I don't know, it's just a thought.
It would spoil it. I think it's...
like if it was more of a grind, it would take you out of that immersion.
Yeah, because I knew where Mark was coming from, because I was coming from the same position in that satisfaction from killing a boss that you have been trying to deal with for a long time. There's nothing like it. And yeah, I also agree that it is because it is so story driven that it would turn you off if you're constantly dying. But I suppose that's why there's a difficulty scale.
Absolutely.
You can change that whenever you want, whereas obviously Elden Ring, there isn't.
Yeah.
There is no, let's make this harder. It is just hard full
for
stop.
Everyone. Yeah, and perhaps maybe there then it's a case of maybe you Like I remember when you were picking which one to go for.
What, on Elden Ring?
No, God of War, your difficulty level. And you were kind of like, it could be that you kind of just, obviously it's so hard.
Flicking between easy and normal.
Well, and it's so hard to decide when you haven't played it yet, you haven't seen what it's like, you haven't got a feel for it, to then decide, which I suppose is why they allow you to change it. Because perhaps if you'd have been going on and you'd gone, no, you know what, this is piss easy, I'm bored. Or not bored, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm not feeling that challenge. Maybe you'd find that if you did crank it up a notch, you might have found that sweet spot, like your personal sweet spot of challenge versus story.
Yeah, I suppose. I do suppose.
Maybe have a go. Like if you're saying you're going to turn it back on, crank it up to fucking God of War level and then just get your arse
give me
handed
God of War
to
and
you.
then go and try and kill Gina. Fucking hell. I'm not taking anything away from God of War at all. Trying to compare it to Elden Ring, they're two completely different beasts. Completely different. But yeah, I really want Mark to jump on Elden Ring because I think
he would probably like it.
I think he would love it. Once he goes through the motions, just like I did, just like everyone else fucking did, and it finally clicks, I think he will love it. Because I was trying to explain to him, I was like, anything can fuck you up. Anything.
Yeah.
A wolf, a fucking sweaty old man with a walking stick, anything can fuck you up in that game. I said to him, I was like, you make one wrong move, I said, you're dead. Even when you're overpowered to fuck, something can catch you off guard. What are you laughing at?
Sorry.
A sweaty old man with a walking stick.
You paint a picture.
Anything can fuck you. Literally anything. Some geezer with a bunch of roses, he fucked me up. And you can hit anyone. This is the thing. Like,
yes, yeah.
And it's that learning curve. Like I was saying to him, was like, you're so used to a hack and slash game where there's somewhat might be a bit of a challenge, but ultimately you can overpower whatever you're attacking by just mashing R2 or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah, very kind of.
And I said, you have to get yourself straight out of that mindset. I said, once you get decent at a Soulsborne game, like Elden Ring, Demon Souls, fucking Bloodborne, you throw yourself into a game that is still a combat game, like say God of War, or where there's battles where you can block and you can parry and things like that. You've been playing a Soulsborne game that you've gotten decent at. You jump into a game like a different style of game, you're a fucking god.
Yeah.
Because obviously the reaction times that you need for Elden Ring are completely different to anything else. And the hitboxes on Elden Ring were fucking mental as well. Absolutely crazy. I'm talking like you could lift your arm up and expose a fucking inch of your armpit. You could shoot an arrow through that gap. You know what I mean? Like it really, I really, really want him to play it. And I hope he does. I'll keep badgering him to play it. You need to get it, Mark, because I think you would really enjoy it.
Yep.
I think I've actually got it on disc.
Yeah, you do. I put it in the cupboard the other day.
So I might actually just give it to him,
yeah.
and he can fuck around on it because it's just God. I must thank Ash for keeping me on that because if it weren't for him, I would have fucking taken it straight back to game. You know what I mean? I would have been fuming with it. I was ready, but he pulled me up from the mud and showed me the way. Fantastic. Anyway, that's that out of the way.
Oh,
I miss him.
yeah.
It'll be 3 weeks, you know. When he's here next week, when he's back on the pod, it'll be 3 weeks since I seen my business partner.
Yeah.
What a mess. He's been at home creaming it, getting all this dough for nothing. You know what I mean? Don't roll your eyes. He's not having to put a finger in it.
Well, yeah, because he's not been busy, has he? Jesus, the poor man.
Mm.
You want to get up in the middle of the night? Yeah?
In the middle of the night. When does that Hogwarts game come out? Are you excited by that? Hogwarts Legacy. Mark said it's his. He cannot wait. It is the game that he is waiting for the most, and that shocked me because he is such a prick. It's just simple. He ain't like that. You know what I mean? I didn't realise he loved Harry Potter.
I don't know anyone who doesn't.
Well, I didn't think Mark did.
Why?
Because it's Mark.
Yeah, but Harry.
He'll hate this. He'll hate this.
No, yeah, I'm sort of excited. I think. I don't know. I was quite let down. Like, so far, like everything Harry Potter that has ever been released, What was it? I want to say I had
10th of Feb is by the way is the release date. 10th
that's
of
exciting.
February.
Yeah, no, I am excited. Yeah, you saying that has been like ooh.
Yeah, it's only
What
around
was
the
it?
corner.
I want to say I had what's the fourth one? Goblet of Fire on PSP, and it was legendary. It's class. But like the one they did and they really hyped it up was can't remember what it's called, but it's an iPad like mobile game, and it was just naff. Like, but really, really, you can tell so much money and so much work has gone into it, and it's just another thing where it's like, yes, young wizard, give me your money.
Yeah, I think you get
like,
you had a lot of cash grabs like that. People always trying to turn the movies
but
into games.
Like so much has gone in, and like I don't know if you remember Pottermore.
No, I ain't got a fucking clue.
It's probably about,
I wasn't big with the Harry Potter.
Okay,
It's
probably about 11 years ago now, maybe more, and it was sold as it was going to be. It was online, and it was just an immersive universe of wizards and witches and all of the things that you love and all this. And there was going to be games and there was going to be house points, and there was a whole algorithm where you're sorted into your house and you're given your wand, and it was all
same as this.
based on
The movies.
yourself. No, like based like proper personality, like you say, like the movies. And oh my god, getting onto the beta for it was so hard. And back in the day when it's like all you gave a shit about, so I was like grinding, just trying to please. And I did, and I remember I don't think Luce did, but anyway, and I was Moon River 179, and she was Cloak Queen 91.
Right.
And
Moon River.
And literally, we used to like sign birthday cards and stuff.
Moon River.
I think it was like user generated. I don't know that I picked it.
That's
but
quite
anyway.
a cool name though.
Yeah.
Moon River.
Moon River. It's
Moon
a song,
River.
isn't it? Or is that?
I don't know.
Moon River. Yeah. Anyway, and it was a very interesting one because they kind of pulled you in with like so much coming soon, coming real soon.
Yeah, it's
and
coming.
then it kind of didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And then they added features and then took some away, and then it just kind of like just went, and
Just
now
died.
it's some other shit. And I just feel like obviously they probably can't necessarily get away with that with this. But you thought, how many more Harry Potter things can I fall for?
Well,
waste my time on.
This is what I was talking, because Mark obviously was talking about it today or this morning on the way into work, and I was saying that I really hope that it's going to be great, and there's so much potential because he doesn't watch anything on these games. Any game that he's interested in, he won't watch anything on it. He's not interested because he's so interested. God of War Ragnarok,
I can see that.
he watched nothing on it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to see anything.
Yeah.
And it's the same with Hogwarts Legacy. He hasn't seen any of it.
Well, look at the bloody Wednesday the random trailer at the end of the first episode of Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that just fucking gave away
so much
everything.
Spoilers.
I'm
already watching it, love. I don't need to teaser trailer.
so I was saying to him, I was like, it's one of them games where it's got so much potential, and there is quite a decent amount of hype behind it, that it has the potential to be an incredible game. From what I've seen, graphics as well.
It's looking good.
It looks really, really cool. And then every now and then you get a little gameplay bit that pops up, and people shit on it.
Oh,
because they go, this look like, for example, I don't like the fact that it doesn't have Quidditch in it. It's not in there.
Right. Okay.
Whether that's just because they couldn't figure out how to
make it,
or whatever. I'm sure there's a reason behind it. But some people like, it's so difficult because obviously it's not out yet. So trying to form an opinion of it is quite hard. But it's one of those where it looks like it can be great, or it can just be shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like another failed attempt at turning a very popular movie into a game.
Yeah.
I think the last, obviously, the last really good adaptation of a movie to a game that I played was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, okay.
Fucking fantastic.
But
really,
did it follow the film? Or was it just a story?
No, didn't follow
a Guardians-based story.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, isn't
yeah,
it?
but it was really good. The one before that I thought did really, really well was this. King Kong. You played that, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you don't like gorillas. So King Kong.
Do you know me at all?
I'm sorry. So King Kong, fun fact, I've got an elk tattooed on my chest that was originally going to be a full-on gorilla covering my chest, but Steph had reminded me of the fact that she absolutely hates gorillas.
And it's your, but I hadn't said anything, had I? I hadn't.
No,
said
it was
anything
my
to
decision
you.
to change it because I thought
Yeah.
that's just gonna be strange. Every time I
Look
take
at
my
me
top
nice.
off, you're gonna fucking run from the gorilla on my
But
chest.
no, I wouldn't have ever said to you, "Don't get it."
No, but this is what loving couples do. We make sacrifices.
So if
So
we
I-
break up, you're going to come with an elk. Just have a big gorilla.
But so King Kong, Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie.
What platform was that on?
Uh,
PS2?
PS2,
Right.
come out in 2005,
Excellent.
and I shit you not, genuinely, really, really good game,
Yeah.
and that followed the story.
Right.
That was the movie, but in game format,
Yeah.
and pretty much like followed it scene for scene.
Okay.
And obviously PS2, the graphics weren't fantastic, but,
Oh my God,
but
I
for PS2
beg- I
standards,
beg, pull me up a picture of that.
to be fair, for PS2, they're not bad. It's not bad. That's Jane. When
That's
she's,
never gameplay though, is it?
yeah, it's not bad. You know what I mean?
That's
But-
that's. I'll hand that. Nah. That.
Yeah.
Let me. I'm watching this.
But it was really good. Like really, really good. I remember playing it as a kid. And what is it? Yeah, is it? Yeah,
He's running
with a spear.
spear.
With a spear, and you got to stab the bats,
Yeah.
the weird bat things. Yeah, I remember this. And then the little centipedes come out of nowhere and start fucking banging you, and you got to get the fire out and start burning them. It looks good though, doesn't it?
They don't look bad actually.
It really don't look bad. And you got to play as King Kong as well. And you got to kill T-Rex, like to do the T-Rex scene where he fucking snaps their jaws off.
Ew.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it was decent.
Killed some thingies. What is it? What someone said?
It was really good.
I'm glad. I'm happy for you.
A very successful adaptation. Obviously very old now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't really know where I was going with this whole point, but I'm just glad that I got that in there because I thought it was a really cool
Yeah.
game.
Well, did you ever have? You know, I think I said it last week about the Mulan,
Yeah.
and literally, me and my sister still quote that now. Like, honestly, shaped our lives. I think. Bless you.
Sorry, that was.
And it was a PC game, but you could do so much. Like you had to, and it's one of those ones where, if I say the things you had to do now, it's probably going to sound so childish. But ultimately, we were children, I suppose. Well, not ultimately, we literally were children. But you could play mahjong, and you got my mum. So you got a mahjong certificate when you won.
Nice.
And you could print them out, and my mum laminated them, and we had them as dinner mats. So you could have like your mahjong achievement and eat your tea. Mahjong, then there was one you had to like climb a mountain. You had a limited amount of stakes and rope. So if you crossed too many, you'd run out and
You'd be fucked.
you'd be in trouble. And it was like so good, so good. And we had a few of them, but Mulan really sticks in my head. It's just been absolute class.
They just don't do it anymore. They don't really take popular movies or anything and try and turn them into games.
Well, you probably find it's mobile games.
Or if they do, they
That's all it
just
is
flop.
now.
Look at Marvel Avengers. Ugh, that game when it come out, it
yeah.
was fucking god awful, absolutely awful. But yeah, they seem to only go on mobile. Maybe it's because it's just so much easier.
It's where the
just
money
to,
is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where you can fling the dough.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any like movies that would be really cool if they adapted it into a game, but I can't really think of any. Bring fucking Lord of the Rings back, please. Again, talking to Mark about it, I'd pay fucking top dollar for Simpsons Hit and Run to be remade, remastered, fucking whatever. I would pay big bucks for it. I'd be all over it.
Well,
But the nostalgia, I don't think would hit the same, and
No.
it just wouldn't. But I'd still pay big bucks for it.
Well,
And Lord of the Rings.
I always thought that of Spyro,
Mm.
and then they did,
Yeah.
and it didn't look right.
Yeah.
It didn't look right. Like I needed the real shitty, like
Yeah.
barely can actually
I
tell
think-
it's a dragon.
I
Kind
think
of
that's
thing.
why I stuck.
And it just didn't feel good.
I think that's why I love and still love Ratchet and Clank so much, because they adapted with that. They didn't remake and remaster their games.
Just moved on.
They just kept bopping up, but they kept true to what they were doing.
Mm.
They just made it better.
Well, and I suppose when they put Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, that it wasn't some polished like graphics. They didn't really change. They didn't.
They just
It was
ported it
still
over.
that like kind of old ass
Yeah.
thing, but it was nice because it was that novelty of having something. Obviously, you're talking years and years before the Switch, like a good.
Sometimes
Must
you
be
want
5
that
years.
though.
Well, but it was the beauty of something that you've only ever been able to play on a console. I could take it to college and play it in the corner.
Look at Pokemon. Fuck that
Beautiful.
new shit. I don't want that shit of where
I
it's
mean, you
fucking.
absolutely rinsed Sword and Shield though. When you weren't well, was that because you weren't well?
No, what do you mean? I played Sword.
I know, but you're saying fuck the new shit. But you like
No,
the new shit.
I mean the new style of how they do it, where it's like almost like free roam. Sword wasn't like that.
Yeah, it was.
No, Sword and Shield weren't. It looked good. Like the
You're talking
graphics.
about Arceus.
Yeah, that style. And then
Yeah.
the latest one.
Is back similar to Sword and Shield, I think.
No, because I've watched it. You're running around on some Pokemon with fucking wheels, but he still uses his legs. It looks weird. Dead space. It don't look good. Everyone
Oh.
loves it, but I don't like it. But I'm
I
saying,
think-
I'm saying now, right now, you could pick up Pokemon Blue, and you'd fucking love it. Pokemon
yeah.
Yellow, Pokemon Sapphire, Pokemon Ruby.
Gonna keep going.
Trying to think of other colours.
Emerald.
Gold, silver, emerald, sapphire. Ooh, some good ones. Rayquaza. That was emerald, wasn't it? That was green. Yeah. Oh.
It's cute that you remember all these things, but you don't remember,
What?
Just like people's birthdays.
I remember your birthday. That's the most important birthday there is. I
Cheers.
remember Mark's birthday. Desperately trying to remember Ash's birthday in my head, but I just can't.
Oh, do you admit that on here?
I just can't. I can't.
Aw.
I'm sorry. But Mark's I remember because I forgot it. And he got very annoyed at me for forgetting it.
Yeah, it's almost like you've been friends for like.
I know.
15
So I
years.
now remember his and Gab's. Mark's is on the 9th of January. Gab is the 25th of June.
Congrats. When's your mum's?
I ain't got a fucking clue.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't know. When? July?
Yeah, the
The 8th. And you're the 8th of June.
and Fiona's.
Fucking, I don't know.
Oh, come on,
Fiona?
Fiona.
I don't know. I'm shit with time, with birthdays.
It's the
This
day
is-
before mine.
This is what I was saying. This is why Ash is the good
Oh,
is the better side on this pod, because he remembers all the names and the companies
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable.
and the stats and shit like that. He's very good at making me look somewhat dumb when it comes to games, because I just play the fucking things and I retain zero information about who made it, when it was made, how much it fucking cost. You know what I mean? Like I just play the game like a child. So I'm
No,
never
it's just a different
I'm never
style.
good with that type of stuff.
Don't put yourself down. Even though I pretty much started this conversation, but just no. Come on.
So yeah.
So, what are you excited for next year?
What am I excited for? You know what? Dead Island.
Yeah.
Dead Island's gonna be a cool one.
When's
Whenever
that out?
that comes out. So a quick Google when that comes out. That'll be fucking sick. Anything
'Cause that would've-
around
you
slapping
would've
zombies
played
around
that-
the face.
That was
Years
360,
ago.
so that's PS3.
Years
That's
ago.
PS3
So
though.
Dead Island 2 is 28th of April 2023.
Oh,
So it's quite a while before that comes out. But that will be good. In terms of other shit, Mark played the demo for Forspoken.
oh right.
He doesn't like it.
Oh.
He said it didn't grab him. So there's a couple of games that are coming up, but it's one of them where you don't pay attention to the release date anymore because everything gets pushed back, which is
Yeah.
perfectly okay. I'd rather shit got pushed back and done properly
Yep.
than people like we had last year and the year before, where people were pandering, begging people. Look at Cyberpunk. wasn't fucking ready, but the pressure that was on CD Projekt Red to get that out, and then everyone slated them for it, and now they've recovered from it. So I would much rather a game. Well, World of Warcraft did it, didn't they? With Dragonflight, they pushed that back. They pushed that back and did a little bit more fine tuning. So I'm all for it. So when it comes to games that are coming out, I just don't see them as that's going to be their actual release date until it goes gold like God of War. Then the game is done and that's coming out at this time.
Yeah. See, it's weird. I'll be interested regarding Tears of the Kingdom because obviously Breath of the Wild was really, really pushed back. I want to say
Tears of the Kingdom's 12th of May.
Yeah, at the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
God, I waited that for so long. And like when you look at the original like promo trailer for it, it's a completely different game. The graphics are completely different. Like they just really went oops and then kind of redid it. But then saying that, I'm kind of the mind where, so March 17, it was highly anticipated. It immediately did very, very well. You're telling me they didn't start cracking out ideas for the second one pretty early on?
See, I think they've got ideas before they even crack out the first one.
This is what I'm saying. And you're talking. Obviously, they had the bit of a dodgy time with the Wii U. And that I imagine made them a little bit more cautious. And I do really think that the Switch was kind of a make or break for them.
Yeah.
And obviously, it was a make. Very much so. And yet the Switch is basically just a more refined version of the Wii U. Like the whole concept of the Wii U was like one of the adverts is the kid is playing on the telly and then his dad comes in and wants to watch something on the telly, so they switch the thing over and he carries on playing it on the tablet. Like it was so close but just missed it. But no, I just kind of think like they've had a real long time to work on Tears of the Kingdom. It's a long time.
Yeah. But you want that though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm hoping that kind of does mean that it's not going to be pushed back. Let's say we'll give them a grace of a year. Let's say they didn't start truly working on it until March 18. Let's give them a whole year since Breath of the Wild's out before they started, like, going ham. Which actually I think is even too much because I do seem to remember
that still gives you a lot of time.
Them confirming a sequel quite early on. I might be wrong.
That's a lot of time
to
really start cracking it out. But then you look at things like GTA 6. Where the fuck is that? Not even an announcement trailer for that.
Yeah.
And it's GTA 5 has been through what? 2 different consoles? No, it started on PS3. GTA 5.
Were you in school?
Yeah.
I was in school.
Yeah, I was in like year 10 because I didn't come in. I completed it. I had like 2 days off and completed it. And so when I come back to school, I was like, yeah, I've already done the story, guys.
God.
And I was a king for a week.
Beautiful.
So, you never know. Maybe it will just get its full-on release date. I feel like Nintendo are quite good when it comes to...
No.
Are they not?
No.
Are they not?
No.
Oh.
No, but in a way that... Because they care about the health of their employees, basically. Like with...
Shout out to Blizzard.
Yeah, with the kickback of Animal Crossing, I'll probably get shoehorned because I'm a girl talking about Animal Crossing, but anyway.
All right.
No.
No.
Not the lovely listeners.
No, this is our podcast. Yeah. Anyone that's got an issue with it, they go fuck themselves.
Yeah. I play games with guns in.
You fucking talk about whatever you want. They ain't paid for this equipment. They ain't sitting here fucking talking. Yeah. So we'll talk about whatever the fuck we want.
But that was pushed back. And they kind of just came out and just said like, yeah, we're not ready and it's too stressful and ultimately, tough shit, really. And in a way, it was kind of you couldn't be mad because the way they wrote it was just so eloquent and just so honest.
Yeah.
That you were like, yeah, fair game. At the end of the day, I don't want to play an unfinished game at the cost of the people who we literally love for working so hard to create this game. Exactly. It would just feel grim.
Exactly.
And obviously, people had their reactions, but. No, I was genuinely alright with it, and that's something that, oh my god, I was losing my head because it came out, I want to say March 23, 2020, and we were sort of like 2.5 weeks into lockdown. You and I weren't seeing each other. We were both going out, and working out and about in it, and it was at that time where it's like, if you lose your sense of smell, you lose it forever. And even young people, it's it's so terrifying. You people coming up coughing all over you and throwing toilet roll at people's heads. It was a nightmare. And
fucking
really
toilet roll wars. Remember that?
And it just came out at like the perfect time because it's just such a distraction. Amazing.
I bought a load of toilet rolls, not to hoard them from people, but I genuinely bought some toilet rolls, and I bought some. I had 2 packs of 16 in my car when I still worked at Sainsbury's, and someone that I was working with, Jane, she was in tears because she couldn't get hold of any toilet paper, and she was like down to her last roll. So I went to my car and I give her a pack of 16. Just give it to her. And she was like, "Do you want any money?" I said, No. I said, "That's fine." She was an absolute bitch to me for the rest of the time while I was at Sainsbury's. She did not care that I'd just given up gold for her. So I'll never do good for an old person again. Because of that, fuck them.
Wow. I remember having, I worked in an unnamed, I don't want to be killed for naming the company that I worked for.
Why? You don't work for them anymore.
I know, but nevertheless, I'm frightened.
Why? What of who?
I'm frightened.
What,
no,
of that company?
Shh. I'm not comfortable disclosing.
No, hold on. What? You're frightened of that company? They ain't listening to this.
I don't care.
They ain't going to listen to this.
Hello, have you heard of AI?
I've just said Sainsbury's.
Yeah? And good for you. Hope they don't kill you. Anyway, I work for an undisclosed company. And, and that
similar to Sainsbury's. But undisclosed.
Thank you. And they're
one of the big 4.
Stop it! They're gonna be able to sniff me out. And anyway, they decided because we were also one of the only clothing places that were open.
Other clothing places are available.
And they were like, you know what? In the height of lockdown, like shit's really bad. Like people are dying. Let's make all our clothes 50% off.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then if you were a colleague of undisclosed location, you actually then it made it about 70%.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't about 70%. It was literally 70%.
What a fantastic month that was for you.
Well, and we were in a place where we were open on 2 whole sides, and they blocked it in so that we could man an entry and exit because they knew it was going to be mad.
I remember you sending me the pictures of that. Yeah, but the route weren't right, was it? It didn't just lured you around in circles.
And they tried to get us to count in and count out people browsing clothing. These people who have been in lockdown for 2 months, they've got no joy in their lives. They don't go outside, and these are the only clothes. These are the only clothes that you can shop in the world.
No, they had joy, right? These motherfuckers had furlough.
This is true.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I remember being shouted at so bad by a lady because basically, previously, before lockdown, you could walk through the clothing department to get to the checkouts.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people would do, because some bright spark put entry and exit on the top, people thought that was exit to the store. Yeah. And they would essentially get trapped
in the
in
fucking
the clothing department. And then because it was set up like a maze, they'd also be lost. And obviously, who else to blame but the person stood there in uniform?
Yeah.
And I just wrote, oh God, she was really, really effing and blind. And I was like, you're still not going to fit through there. You still have to turn around and go.
Yeah.
And it was just such a...
People were horrendous during that. I had that one woman that kept ringing us up complaining because we didn't give her broccoli. And I just told her to fuck off on the phone.
Yeah.
I was so stressed out. Everyone around me was stressed out to fuck as well.
God,
and yeah, I didn't get my broccoli. I need it refunded now. And it was like 39p. And I was on the phone after like the 10th phone call. I just went, listen, fuck off. And just put the phone down. And
so bad.
Didn't get penalised for it. No, didn't fucking... People were too busy.
Yeah.
It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts.
Crazy days.
That's our little touch back onto...
But then what... So what was your... I can't remember. What was your lockdown game? Was it WoW? Kind of? I don't know.
World of Warcraft's my game fucking anywhere I go.
I know.
I'm thinking about bringing the laptop when we go to the Airbnb.
Don't worry, I wouldn't look for anywhere that didn't have Wi-Fi.
God forbid.
Yeah. Don't worry, I can't take you anywhere, dear.
It's going to be freezing outside. My lockdown game, because obviously I weren't playing Warzone, so I didn't get to experience any of that. I suppose Call of Duty, it was... I was playing whatever the current COD was at the time.
Because obviously,
But World of Warcraft was a massive one for me.
Yeah. It wasn't too long before you could because that was the summer, wasn't it? I think I want to say summer 2020 was eat out to help out, i.e., don't worry about your health. We need to make a bit more money.
We went to Wagamama's and spent like fucking 80 quid.
But because obviously
when it was like half price as well, so we got a lot of food.
Oh God,
more than what we should have really got. That was when we waited in that long ass queue for it.
Yeah,
and then
they got served like instant.
And then we went back after the pandemic, and it was the wankest experience we've ever had.
Yeah, nothing like a bit of raw shrimp.
No, great, really great.
Settles the stomach.
Really great.
But no, yeah, that was definitely. I think Animal Crossing was definitely my lockdown game, and that's weird. Like you were saying of Elden Ring and
everyone's lockdown game.
I know. Yeah, okay, but I've loved it since I was 10.
Yeah, but the amount of switches that must be in a drawer now with dust on.
100%, and this is I will touch on this.
Look at Charlotte's.
Yeah,
your
sister.
In my drawer. It's still in that drawer.
Yeah. Both my sisters actually did it. Lou just had the panache to sell hers.
Just give it back.
And what you were kind of saying about the Elden Ring TikTok virality, let's say, I think that is something that really did propel the Switch and Animal Crossing, because, and again, just class advertisement. It's being released at the right time, as kind of odd as that would seem to say, at the right time. Oh, global pandemic, no one can leave. And it's funny because like so Nintendo has the tracker, like all the Switch does, has in fact actually the Wii and the 3DS do as well, but on a more refined basis, the Switch has you can see how many hours you've sunk in all the time. Yeah. And it felt like this is where I think it really separated the wheat from the chaff, if you will, because people that genuinely had a love for it
stayed with it.
Yes. And then all these people come flooding in and they think they love it. But like my sister now, on her, she only sunk like 20 hours. That was it. Yeah. Over a couple of weeks. And then it went in a drawer and that was it.
Look at all your friends.
Exactly. Literally every single one. Even the people, there were some people that did kind of persevere.
Yeah, but not that. They still ain't.
And the only one that sunk anywhere near me is Meg. And lo and behold, Meg
is a gamer.
Well, absolutely loved it. The Wild World, which came out, I want to say 2006. But had that love for it already. See what I mean?
It was good for gaming because you suddenly had an influx of all these people that have nothing to do turning to something like gaming. But at the same time, fuck those people that had nothing to do and turned to gaming, because most of them were the same people that their only source of fun and enjoyment is going out and getting pissed every single fucking weekend that they can. And they're the exact same people that rip people like you and me for gaming.
Yes.
And then lo and behold, they couldn't go out and spend all their hard-earned cash on just getting pissed, so they had to turn to something else. And gaming was there. Yeah. Warm, fuzzy little gaming was waiting in the corner with a big old hug. And people loved it because gaming is fucking sick. It's the best thing ever, especially when you need time to kill. It's fantastic. I'd be useless without gaming, and I think a lot of people would. Yeah. But it did somewhat bug me because a lot of people that bullied me when I was younger, like in school times for playing like World of Warcraft and shit like that, suddenly found themselves with nothing to do. Yeah. And were turning to all of these games that I've been saying for years are so fucking good. Awesome. You need to play it.
Yeah. And like I remember.
And then obviously the pubs reopened and they scurried back to their fucking little holes. Well, rats.
And I think, I got really like briefly excited because I've never really had gamer friends.
Yeah.
So I've missed out on a hell of a lot of multiplayer games because and I've bought them. Don't get me wrong, I've sunk my dosh into them. But there comes a point at which it gets really like sad and kind of
getting yourself
lonely when you're constantly just matched up with strangers and it's different. You can't predict how anything's going to go because you're either going to get someone who screams at you, someone who doesn't talk at all.
It's exactly why Ash doesn't talk on his...
Yeah, well, I got to my first experience of Fortnite, and it was me and he was so young, for sure. He was this little German boy, and my God, he was so script. But I could like kind of work out what he was saying.
Nine!
We made it to second place.
Yeah.
Just, I had... Not only did I know what I was doing, I had a really rough kind of idea, but I was also playing it on the Switch, so everyone looks like a fucking ant because I was playing it handheld, And yeah, and bless him, he's just screaming, and I'm just like, oh honey, I can't understand you, and we did really well. I don't even think it was. I can't remember why we didn't win, but it was really really close.
Getting yourself gaming is, especially games like WoW, massive multiplayer online, fucking huge games. And things like COD and any game that's online and has replayability on it. Getting yourself into a community where you can make friends and talk to people and play with people consistently is so fucking difficult.
Yeah.
So difficult. Now, I don't know whether that's because we're crippled by anxiety or if it's just genuinely difficult, because every single person I've spoken to, look at me and Mark, it was just solidly me and Mark throughout our time in secondary school, me and him playing games.
Yeah.
No one else. And then even now, like me and Colin on World of Warcraft. Or I'd have like Neil or Ian, and there would be little pockets of communities, but it would never last forever. Look at me with my actual guild from WoW.
Yeah.
That was hundreds of people, but it never lasted. Even now, on WoW, I'm in a guild with people that I know and talk to because they were in my guild, and I would consider myself friends with them, but I don't talk to them when I'm logged in. I don't play with them. I don't group up with them. I don't get involved with anything. Yeah. And I can't figure out why. And I really struggle to put myself... The idea of... The thought of being on, say, a gaming Facebook group and just putting my tag in it, like my PSN name or my fucking Battle.net name.
Yeah.
And just because I see it all the time, people going, this is my Battle.net, looking for people to play with. And everyone jumps on and goes, I'd love to play with you. Like, it'd be great. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Because I think if I play with someone, one thing I don't like about them, fuck off. I'm not interested in you. Because I'm not invested. I don't know who you are. So see you later.
See, I think mine's kind of from a different point of view. It's weird. I do a similar thing, but maybe for a different reason. And that's the sort of thing towards the end of secondary school, I was friends with a lot of guys who would play, very, very similar to me. And they would play online and stuff, and I tried to join in, and in a weird way I think I decided that it would be embarrassing because obviously they're well established into playing these games together and online, and I'm not, and I'm a girl, and I think more of it I put on myself because there's a couple of them that would have liked to make those kinds of jokes, but a lot of them weren't like that. But I decided myself that no, that's going to be embarrassing. So I'll be like, oh no, sorry, I can't, not on tonight, or stuff like that. Because the times that I did go on, I literally did die immediately. And one of them was Red Dead Online, and it was a friend of mine, and he was away. He was doing something else, so he was just standing there, and I think he told one of the others. Because he secretly came back. Oh, sorry, I was just looking at the dog, making sure she ain't dead. Yeah, he'd secretly come back, and everyone had been going up to him and crouching and poking him, whatever. And then they were like, "Oh, Steph, you go and do it." And as I walked up, he was secretly back, and he hit me in the head with a throwing knife. And then for the rest of school, it was throwing knife, so funny. But it's almost in myself where I just assume, because you do see girls online, and there was one on my TikTok the other day, and he wouldn't leave her alone. He wouldn't stop, and he was going, "You're cute, send me a picture, and all that." Yeah. And then there was this other one where it was, I can't remember what he said, but he said something about show us something, and she was really good and just wiped him out, and then she was like, "There it is," and whatever she said, and it was just class. But it's something that, when the... like you say, with lockdown and everyone's buying Switches and all this stuff. And despite having those comments made where it's like, ugh, so what was I, 21 when the Switch came out? And I was fucking living for it coming out. My God, it was my life. I was so excited. So excited. There hadn't been a genuine, fresh console release for so long. They'd already pretty much announced that the 3DS line was dead. That's gone. And I was just like, oh shit, like I've got, really want to look something to look forward to. And yeah, a few people made comments about the price. You're paying that for that and all stuff like that. And I did make the comment of like, you spend like exactly what you said. You crack on. And I don't judge you for going out, spending all your cash on stuff. But like this is what I want to spend my money on. And then it was like hilarious when those people then bought them and then kind of didn't. Some did and some didn't kind of sustain that.
Oh, what you're gonna pay £70 for that game? Yeah, you're about to spend over a $1 on one night out and then shit it away, or even throw half of it up. Fuck off, man. At least mine's actually worth something. Oh yeah, but for the memes, fuck off, you little cunt. It's just fucking annoying. I hate it. It winds me up so much. I hate them.
No,
go
what
fuck
gets
yourselves.
And it's like it's not necessarily game related, but just while we're talking about bugbears of people thing, I spent like my youth. It was the typical black hair, black eyeliner,
emo.
Yeah, I got called one time. Of the many times, but the one time that sticks out to me was at a bus stop at college, and I was heckled from a vehicle, and it was "fuck off, you grunger," C word, and I was like, "Is this a new low or a new high? Am I so
you grunger cunt?
Yeah, am I so offensive to you that you don't even know me? I'm waiting for.
You're
the
just
bus.
a child waiting for a bus,
and it was like, God, I'm so offensive to you that you've needed to do that. And what the reason I say it is because there were, and I'm sure you can attest, and I'm sure lots of people can attest to, certainly but way back when, you're talking 2010, 2011, about 5 emos, if what not per year, per school.
I used to be one.
There was hardly any of us, and we all got the stick for it.
Yeah, we all hid.
And what really bothered me, one, is the day that MCR, My Chemical Romance, if you don't know the abbreviation, split up. They announced they were splitting. I want to say it was either the 23rd or the 25th of March 2013. And I thought, I remember reading it, and I read it and was like, oh. And then I walked into my mum's room and just burst into tears. I didn't think I was going to cry, but I did, and it really, really upset me. Anyway, they had a concept album in 2011, right? And it was about a post-apocalyptic world, and it was so themed, and I had the ray gun and all this collectible stuff for it.
Big up the ray guns.
It was called... that it was set in California 2019.
Okay.
Right?
Well, that's grim, innit?
Yeah.
Set in the future.
Yeah. And it was like, oh, so far away.
So futuristic.
And America was a wasteland, and they're like all the videos.
Not completely wrong.
No, yeah. An absolute wasteland. And they're eating like dog food. There
goes
each
half
other.
of my listenership.
Why?
It's just slated off America.
Sorry. And yeah, so it's California 2019. So anyway, 2013, they were supposed to be working on an album. They've canned that. They're gone. Okay. And that was that. So fast forward now, we're now in 2019. They announced that they're coming back. Bear in mind, in 2016, everyone thought they were coming back, but it wasn't. It was just a celebration of 10 years of the Black Parade. Yep. That got everyone going. But no, 2019. And they said these words. They were like, we told you. We said California 2019. Now I am raging. Absolutely fuming, because I thought, how dare you do that to me? Not just me personally. Me.
How dare you?
But do that to the fans. Act like you're never coming back, like, oh yeah, we're bored of this, bye. And then pretend that it was all planned. No, you just need a new kitchen, let's be honest. The money's running a bit low, pot's running a bit dry. You thought, shit, we best get back to it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Let's grease these cogs again.
The amount of people,
the fake
exactly
fans.
as you say.
Yeah, they come flooding in.
Who... They actually spoke to me like shit in school.
Yeah.
Oh, I love MCR. Yeah. Oh, it was amazing. And fair play to them. If they were too embarrassed, if they genuinely did like them and they were too embarrassed to say that they did because of everything it held around that time.
School's a tough place. But don't slate everyone else off for it.
Yeah.
Don't rip me to pieces for it.
And I felt like very much the only one, because they announced Milton Keynes shows. Well, they announced shows all over the world, but these particular shows, they weren't coming to London, they were coming to Milton Keynes. I don't know what the fuck you picked Milton Keynes, but anyway.
Yes, Linkin Park did the same thing.
Milton Keynes, and it was going to be, can't remember the date, but basically, COVID. Bang slap, COVID's happened. You know what? I was like, ha!
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, you deserve it.
Ha!
Yeah.
Right? And then it rescheduled, I want to say, it was either June this year or June the year before, or whatever time it actually got rescheduled. Wasn't fucking interested.
No.
And people like mates of mine went, and I'm sure they had a lovely time. And I'm just, no. I wasn't interested. At the end of the day, the last time I saw them was 2011, was February, and I'd seen them the first time was about a couple of months before that. Last time I see them, and my mum got me tickets, and they were right up the back in the nosebleeds, and couldn't even see them. You know what I mean? But that room was full of people like me, and it was great. And I was not about to go and be surrounded by the people that, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that these people are pretending by any means. Like I say, I think it's more than likely that they just didn't feel comfortable expressing that part, because school, I think in those, and I'm sure it still is now, but
yeah, I don't think it's changed.
It was rough as fuck. And yeah, and I just thought, no. And it's, as I say, I mean, I know you feel the same with games, and I do to an extent.
What used to bug me is that I would always get stick for playing the games that I played by the people that played FIFA. And I was always like, but you're
it's
gaming.
Same game every year.
Yeah, but even if it isn't, you're gaming. You're gaming as well.
You're having an acceptable way.
You're having a dig at me for playing a different type of game when I could be digging at you for playing possibly one of the shittest but somehow the most popular games of all time.
Forgive my ignorance, but is FIFA literally pretty much the same every year? They just add new people and update the stats, or is there a difference?
They change it with the football seasons, don't they?
Right, but what I mean is,
so the kits change. Like I remember one guy, his name was Johnny Turner. Mark will remember him. Fucking little prick, right? Popular kid.
What if he's your secret best fan?
If he is, you can go fuck yourself, right?
Okay.
I don't care. And I remember him raving, going, "They've changed the colour of the boots." Fuck off! What are you on about? You've just paid 60 bones for this because they've changed the colour of the boots. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I used to like FIFA, and I've said to Ash before, you throw FIFA in front of me and you force me to play it, I'm gonna like it. I just will. Yeah, because it's a fun game. But it's the people that played it that put me off. They can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And it's not all of them, but I will lob you all into the same fucking barrel. Because I just spent my whole childhood being bullied by people that played FIFA. And I thought, you are thick. You're such a prick. And most of those people are dickheads now that they're adults.
I think maybe that's why, I think a lot of people...
Getting a lot off our chest.
Yeah, this is basically this is what's the buttons. Therapy edition.
We'll have to cut it eventually because this is going
to go over.
Forever.
But I think, we all, like you were just saying about hit and run, it leaves such a mark on you when you're younger. And I just think that things people say and how people act, that kind of leans into it as well.
Yeah, man.
Where, like even then, technically you don't even not like FIFA, but you can't bring yourself to
won't
not,
touch it.
Yeah,
I will not fucking touch it, even if it's in the bargain bucket. I ain't fucking going near it. But gaming is one of those incredible things. If you bully people for the games they play, go fuck yourself. Because I don't bully people for the games they play. I just throw my opinion about those games.
I don't bully them. I just think that everything they play is shit.
Play whatever the fuck you want. I'll just throw my opinion.
God, this has been a very raw podcast. My God,
it's been decent. This is what happens.
Laying the soul bare.
I want to leave it with one last bit. Sam Parks. He is the first friend of the podcast, according to our Patreon, and he spends the big bucks.
And according to you and Ash,
what?
He's the first friend.
Oh, he is. Of course he is. Sam Parks is the first person to interact with this podcast, and he's the first person that we had no fucking idea who he was to interact with the podcast. So for us, we were like, fucking hell, we've touched a soul that we didn't even know existed.
Absolutely.
And I found that awesome. So he'll be listening to this. So thanks, Sam. You're fucking awesome. But anyway, he tweeted the pod. And basically said that I'm missing out because I haven't completed Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon Forbidden West.
Yep.
Now I have Horizon Zero Dawn on my PlayStation.
Yep.
And he said that if I completed both of them, he'd throw in an extra £10 a month towards the Patreon.
Oh,
big bucks, big bucks.
Big bucks.
Now he said that I'm missing out. I believe I'm missing out. I'm going to go back to him. I'm going to go back to it because
that's exciting.
I'm going to have a different turn on it because I feel that I did enjoy it. Yeah. I didn't not like Horizon just for whatever reason. I got like 2/3 of the way through and just stopped.
Yeah.
So I've decided that you can keep your money, Sam. You know what I mean? If and when I complete both of them,
I imagine it's going to take you a fair time.
don't feel obliged to fucking bump the dough up. But it is a big time investment. But I'm going to re-download Zero Dawn. I'm going to buy Forbidden West. Not straight away. I'm going to see. I'm going to either finish Zero Dawn or I'll buy it about halfway through when the prices drop a little bit because it's still like 60 quid.
Are you going to start from the start?
Yeah, I'll start from the start. Big time investments
yeah.
going on. But for the sake of the podcast, for the sake of Sam,
see how you go. Take the challenge.
I will do this. I don't know whether he'll like me saying his full name, but you can fuck yourself if you don't.
Aww. Well, I suppose no. It's on Twitter, isn't it? Otherwise,
I suppose. Yeah. He tweets it in his full names there. So for you, Sam, I will do that. I can't tell you that I'm going to have it done next week, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
I just don't know when. I'll chip away at the mould. My time is very invested into World of Warcraft at the moment for fear of missing out.
Preach.
There's a load of shit that I'm doing, but I will do that. In fact, after this pod, I will probably switch on the PlayStation to start the download while no one else is in the house, while the old Wi-Fi isn't being hogged.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll leave it there. Exciting. Me and Steph are going to finish recording this, and then we're actually going to press play again. Press the record button again, because we will be recording our first exclusive episode for the Jedi Club tier on our Patreon.
Oh my god, that's so exciting! Just hearing you say that is so exciting.
Which is £5 and up.
Oh, I wish Ash was here.
So yeah, he'll be listening to it. Well, that's the thing though.
He's here in spirit.
Is we obviously. Well, I suppose he can log into the Patreon himself because he's got the login, so he'll be able to have access to it, listen to it, because that'll be the only place.
Yeah.
So we'll record a little mini episode for exclusive to that tier for our Patreon. So yeah, he'll be able to listen to that. He'll be able
so
to
it's
log
goodbye, peasants.
Yeah. See you later, people that won't pay. But yeah, five quid and up. And every episode that we do, we'll do an extra bit after an exclusive section. Haven't actually figured out what we're going to talk about, but I feel I'm trying to get more involved with the Patreon side of it, and more than welcome to ideas that people can fling at us for us to talk about and things like that. But yeah, we're going to finish this episode. We're going to start recording the other episode, and we will catch everyone next week. Thanks again, Steph, for helping us out with this one.
You're most welcome.
I'm sure it won't be the last time. And when we get that extra equipment to get more people on, you'll be the first person to bang on it straight away. Be fantastic. But for now, we're fucking off.
It's an uru from me.
And it's an uru from me. I'm fucking off. See you later, uru.